the 6 skills every man needs to gain confidence and power. Welcome to this video on the 6 skills every man needs to gain confidence and power. If you're watching this, I want you to stick around until the very end, because what I'll share today isn't just a list of skills. It's a framework that will fundamentally shift the way you see yourself and how others see you. Stay tuned for the #1 secret to mastering these skills, which is something most men never even consider, yet it's the key to unlocking everything. Let's dive right in. We're going to cover 1. Self-discipline, the backbone of all success. 2. Communication, how to speak so people listen. 3. Resilience, how to handle setbacks without losing momentum. 4. Emotional intelligence, the ability to understand and navigate emotions in yourself and others. 5. Strategic thinking, the ability to think ahead and make calculated moves. 6. Self-reliance, the skill that ties everything together and gives you true independence. By the end of this video, you'll not only understand these skills, but also learn how to apply them to your own life, starting today. Let's start with the first skill. Self-discipline is the foundation of confidence and power. Without it, nothing else we talk about here matters. It's the ability to do what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like it. It's about showing up for yourself, keeping the promises you make, and putting in the effort even when motivation fades. For years, I lacked self-discipline, and it showed in every part of my life. I would set ambitious goals, whether it was hitting the gym, starting a new project, or saving money, but I'd quit the moment things got uncomfortable. It wasn't laziness. I wanted to succeed, but I couldn't stay consistent. That inconsistency began to weigh on me. I'd look in the mirror and feel like I was letting myself down. One pivotal moment stands out. I was working a job I hated, constantly telling myself I'd make a change, but I never did. One night, after another long day of scrolling on my phone and procrastinating, I caught myself in a spiral of excuses. That was the moment it hit me. Every time I broke a commitment to myself, I wasn't just failing at the task, I was damaging my self-respect. I realized that my lack of discipline was the root of my unhappiness. From that moment, I committed to rebuilding trust with myself. I didn't start with huge goals. I started small. I told myself I'd wake up 30 minutes earlier and stretch every morning. That's it. It wasn't groundbreaking, but I did it every day without fail. That small win gave me a sense of control I hadn't felt before. Once I nailed that habit, I added another, preparing my meals for the week. Then another, hitting the gym 3 times a week. Here's what I learned along the way. Self-discipline isn't about relying on motivation. Motivation is fleeting. It comes and goes. Discipline, on the other hand, is about consistency. It's about creating systems and routines that support your goals, even on the days you don't feel like it. I also discovered the power of delayed gratification. Every time you resist the temptation to take the easy way out, whether that's skipping a workout, blowing your budget, or wasting time, you're not just avoiding a bad habit. You're actively training your brain to prioritize long-term rewards over short-term comfort. Over time, this builds a mental toughness that spills into every area of your life. If you're struggling with self-discipline, here's a practical starting point. Pick one small, manageable habit you can commit to for the next 30 days. It could be as simple as drinking a glass of water first thing in the morning, or journaling for 5 minutes before bed. The key is to choose something so small that you have no excuse not to follow through. Once you prove to yourself that you can stay consistent with small wins, you'll naturally build momentum for bigger changes. Here's a mindset shift that helped me. Stop viewing discipline as a punishment and start seeing it as an act of self-respect. When you hold yourself accountable and follow through on your commitments, you're sending a message to yourself that your goals and aspirations matter. That's how confidence is built, from within. Remember this, self-discipline is a skill, not a talent. You don't have to be born with it. You develop it through practice. And the more you practice, the more power you'll have to shape your own destiny. The second skill is communication. Every powerful man knows how to speak so people listen. Whether it's in your career, relationships, or social life, your ability to articulate your thoughts and ideas is what separates you from the crowd. There was a time when I was terrible at this. I'd ramble, avoid eye contact, or struggle to get my point across. I vividly remember botching a job interview because I couldn't confidently answer a simple question about myself. It was humiliating. After that, I made it my mission to improve. I started by studying great communicators, watching how they carried themselves, how they used their voices, and how they made every word count. I practiced in front of a mirror, recorded myself, and even joined a local speaking club to get feedback. Slowly, I realized communication wasn't just about what you say, it's about how you say it. Your tone, body language, and presence matter just as much as your words. If you want to master communication, start by practicing clarity. Before you speak, think, what's the message I want to convey? Then say it with confidence, making eye contact and speaking with conviction. Over time, this will become second nature. Life will knock you down. It's not a question of if, but when. Resilience is your ability to get back up. I'll never forget a time in my early 20s when I faced one of the biggest failures of my life. I had poured months of effort into a business idea, only to see it collapse overnight due to a mistake I made. I was devastated. For weeks, I felt like a failure. But then I asked myself, what can I learn from this? That simple shift in mindset changed everything. I realized that failure wasn't the end, it was feedback. I dissected every mistake I made, learned from them, and eventually used those lessons to build something even better. Looking back, that failure was the best thing that ever happened to me because it taught me resilience. Here's the key. Resilience isn't about avoiding failure. It's about reframing it. Every setback is an opportunity to grow stronger. Adopt this mindset, and nothing will keep you down for long. Emotional intelligence is the ability to understand and manage your emotions while navigating the emotions of others. Most men overlook this skill, but it's essential for building meaningful relationships, whether personal or professional. I learned this the hard way. For years, I bottled up my emotions, thinking it made me tough. But that approach led to outbursts, misunderstandings, and strained relationships. I didn't realize that being emotionally intelligent wasn't about suppressing feelings. It was about understanding them. I started journaling to process my thoughts and emotions. I also learned to listen actively to others instead of just waiting for my turn to speak. The more I practiced empathy and self-awareness, the better my relationships became. If you want to develop emotional intelligence, start by becoming more aware of your triggers and how you respond to them. Learn to pause before reacting and ask yourself, what's really going on here? Emotional intelligence is a superpower. Master it, and you'll stand out in any room. Strategic thinking is about playing the long game. It's the ability to think ahead, anticipate challenges, and make calculated decisions that align with your goals. One of the biggest lessons I learned about strategy came from a mentor who told me, don't just focus on the next step, focus on the next 10. At the time, I was stuck in a cycle of short-term thinking, making decisions based on immediate gratification instead of long-term gain. But once I started mapping out my goals and creating actionable plans to achieve them, everything changed. For example, instead of spending my weekends aimlessly, I dedicated that time to learning skills that aligned with my vision. Within a year, those small strategic moves compounded into significant progress. The takeaway here is simple. Always think ahead. Before making any decision, ask yourself, how does this move me closer to my ultimate goal? Strategic thinking turns you from a reactive person into a proactive leader. Finally, self-reliance. This is the skill that ties everything together. It's about being able to depend on yourself for your success, happiness, and fulfillment. When I first moved out on my own, I quickly realized how much I relied on others to solve my problems. Whether it was finances, decision-making, or even basic life skills, I lacked independence. That experience was a wake-up call. I made it my mission to become self-reliant. I learned how to manage my finances, make my own decisions, and build a life that didn't depend on anyone else's approval or support. Over time, I saw how this independence gave me a sense of freedom and confidence that nothing else could. Here's the truth. When you rely on yourself, you take full ownership of your life. You become unstoppable because you know that no matter what happens, you can handle it. Now here's the #1 secret to mastering these 6 skills: consistency over time. Most men want quick fixes, but the truth is, real transformation comes from showing up every day and putting in the work. Start small, stay patient, and trust the process. That's how you become a true Titan. Before you go, check out the description below. I've linked the Titan Toolbox tools, including ebooks and courses designed to help you master these skills and transform your life. Whether you're just starting out or already on your journey, these resources will take you to the next level. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and ring the notification bell so you never miss a new video. Let's continue this journey together. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.